Hello, I'm Johnny Rowland, your host of The Shooting Show, and welcome to today's program. We're so glad that you could join us on today's show because we have a lot of very important things to talk about, friends. You know, if you've been following the news, the paper's Ken Starr has turned in his report to Congress, and there's a whole lot of speculation now about what may be in that report. And honestly, I don't know if Bill Clinton can survive the onslaught of evidence because I tell you what, if there's anybody that we could ever say they've done it to themselves, well, Bill Clinton is that person. And we'd like to dedicate today's program to a woman that has really taken a hard amount of criticism, has taken a lot of flack personally and professionally. So this program is dedicated to Paula Jones because you know what, friends, as we're always saying, the individual is everything, the absolute everything. And here you have a little lady from Arkansas and someone who Clinton saw as totally insignificant, absolutely, totally insignificant. And he misbehaved with her, and she said, you know, I'm not going to let someone treat me that way and get away with it. Good for her. You see what one person, because if it hadn't been for the Paula Jones harassment trial, the whole deal on Monica Lewinsky would never have come out. And right now, I think we can be thankful for that, for the Monica Lewinsky affair, because Clinton and his entourage are somewhat off balance. They haven't gotten a lot of legislation passed, the tobacco legislation, the health care, all this other stuff. They haven't passed more gun regulation, nothing that has not been in the works for a while. They're off balance for now. And as we've been saying on previous programs, we're somewhat in a quandary. You know, those of us as conservatives, gun owners, are decent Americans can take a little bit of pleasure in seeing someone, you know, what goes around comes around, and Clinton's getting part of his now. But Clinton is in a dangerous position. You know, friends, he still has his finger on the atomic button. I mean, there's no telling what the man might do. There's no way of knowing what he may do. He's already tried through executive order to nullify the 10th Amendment to the Constitution. There's no telling, like the attack on the laxative factory over there in the Sudan, the attack on I understand, a deserted camp there in Afghanistan. You know, he spent $75 million. Those Tomahawk missiles are $1 million a piece, and to the best of our information, they launched about 75 or so of them. For what? And now, of course, the fundamentalist Muslims have declared war on us as American citizens. So we haven't seen the end of his wag the dog move there. We really don't know what he's capable of. If his position weren't so serious, a lot of us would say, well, just let him sit there and be powerless. But he is still president. He's still commander-in-chief of our armed forces, and that is scary. You know, friends, this is a man that wasn't just elected once. He was elected twice because people were so discouraged that they couldn't do anything. Bill Clinton was elected by 25% or a little less of the voting population of the United States. I think that's disgraceful. And so many of us as responsible Americans have sat back and said, well, I'm not going to take part. Well, friends, let me tell you what, if we want to see our country continue, not only just having our gun rights, but if we want to see our country continue, the decent folks have got to get involved. We've been saying this the whole time. A lot of us have felt discouraged, like we were the only ones left out there. It's not true, friends. There are vast numbers of very fine, concerned Americans out there. They just have to be told the truth. They have to be told the truth about guns, about what they're about what they're for, about how we as responsible gun owners treat our firearms. And certainly, they just have to be educated. You know, we have kicked off our new Gun Owner Rights Association. And I'm so encouraged. We've heard from so many folks around the country. And, you know, we won't be a nonprofit organization. We won't be a public type. We won't come under public scrutiny as far as the government being able to tell us what to do or say. And I think this is a huge advantage. We're not going to give out our mailing list. We're not going to give out a record of the members. I don't know if we'll have 100 members or 100,000. I don't know. Have no idea at this point. But I know this, we will be an important organization. If you'd like to help, we're asking $50 for an annual membership. Now, some of you may think that's high, and tell you what it's for. $15 to $20 of that $50 is going to cover our costs on the newsletter. You'll get the newsletter. The other $30 or $35 is going to help keep us on the air and going to help us get our organization established. So we think it's exciting, friends. This is probably going to be the most important new organization established this year, simply because we can do something. You know, here we are, just a few of us, and the Shooting Show is in its 8th year on the air nationally. And all the other gun associations, I have talked to them. We tried to enlist everybody's help in the beginning and over these years, and nobody wanted to help. Nobody said, well, no, we don't think it can be done on TV. My gosh. And here we are in literally hundreds of programs with the most loyal viewing audience that I could ever imagine. When a local TV station puts us on their local channel and local cable, literally we will crush any opposition, because people want to see the truth. They want to see what these guns are about. They've been lied to over and over by the government, by the media, by the movies, by television in the past. They want to see the truth. It's a simple thing. And our information that we give out legislatively is not being given out anywhere else on television. Nowhere else on television, and certainly our radio program has been a great help too. We welcome you internet viewers, because this is a wave of the future that is going to help us all in getting information out there. You know, right now it looks like the Republicans in Congress are going to be so spineless. We don't know if they're even going to release the information, the things they've actually got on Clinton. Clinton has hired his own private detectives. They've examined all these files of all these Republicans. A lot of the Republicans are scared to death because they have skeletons in their own closet. Well, you know, this deal on Monica Lewinsky, this is actually the least dangerous thing that Clinton has been nailed on. The least, and morally it's reprehensible, but let me tell you, it's the least dangerous thing. At least he wasn't hurting our country directly. If we want to get him on something, let's talk about allowing the sale of nuclear missile technology to the Chinese communists. Let's talk about allowing the Chi-Coms, the Chinese communists, to control both ends and soon to be the entire Panama Canal zone. You know, there was a reason that we built the Panama Canal. There was a reason that the United States built it, because we needed it so we could have traffic, boat traffic, going between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans much more rapidly than going around South America. Do you think the Chinese communists are going to operate in our best interest? Let's talk about other stuff he's going. How about trying to give the Chi-Coms a military base in Southern California, in Long Beach? What about that? What about the Lipo group that has the coal reserves in Indonesia? And Bill Clinton, with the stroke of a pen, put all those coal workers there in Utah, put a huge number of them out of business, because he established a park over this high-quality coal, because his buddies over in Indonesia that had paid him off had their own coal mine. What in the world, friends? Look what the man has done. Look at the real dangerous things he's done. What about coming against us as gun owners, trying to take away our means of self-defense through this ridiculous Brady bill? I think he ought to be impeached on the Brady bill. You know, that's what he's really done, and I don't know if he'll be gotten on any of this stuff. But I tell you what, friends, if in fact Clinton goes down, we've said it before, I'll remind you this week, if Al Gore the idiot, becomes president, Al Gore is at least as anti-gun and anti-American as Bill Clinton, and there's a fair possibility that Al Gore is going to go to jail over the illegal fundraising thing, and he's already said he's most likely going to pick Dianne Feinstein to be his vice president. You know, friends, and Dianne Feinstein is the most anti-gun person in the Senate. Now, what in the world, if we have President Feinstein, we haven't seen anything. You think there's a need to get involved yet? You think there's a need for an organization, you know, the NRA-C, they can continue what they're doing with all their hundreds of millions of dollars and not winning. The other gun organizations, there's a couple of them out there that actually do some good. Certainly, Gun Owners of America has the best fax line going on information, and the Second Amendment Foundation, all that, they put out Gun Week, which is a good little newspaper. But I tell you what, friends, we've got to reach people on television. We're talking with others about doing more television programming. We're watching an organization now that's trying to start up about a pro-gun channel. And certainly one of our viewers is doing that, Ed Hubble, and we certainly wish him a lot of luck. Heck, maybe we can work together. I hope so. But right now, what you can do is join us in our Gun Owner Rights Association, because you know what we're going to do? We're going to have members of our organization scattered all over this country. And not just card-carrying people that get a magazine. No, we're talking about people who care, people who are motivated, people who will write those letters, people who will take part in what this is doing. I can't do this by myself. None of you can do this by yourselves. But you know what? Working together, look what a few of us have already done. We have a whole lot of examples. You know, a while back, we had criticized Colt Firearms because they have a president, Ron Stewart, that believed in licensing of gun owners. Well, it doesn't say anything in the Constitution about licensing gun owners. It says the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Well, Mr. Stewart, you ought to read the Constitution if you care. You know, we hammered them somewhat on that, and guess what? Mr. Stewart's no longer with Colt. He's going to be gone, I think, by the end of this month. At least some people out there wrote enough letters and got enough attention. See, friends, it can be done. Look what Senator Smith has done in the Senate by preventing the FBI from retaining our gun records through this ridiculous NICS check coming up, and also preventing the tax from anywhere from $13 to $25. Promise you it's going to be closer to $25. They're going to try and collect for us as gun owners every time we buy a gun. You know, I hope he can get it passed through the House. I don't know. I'm very disturbed by Newt Gingrich. I don't know what his deal is. I'm afraid Newt is more internationalist than any of us ever wanted. I don't know if they have the courage and the backbone to help set this country right. There's only one way it's going to be done. See, we don't have time to join the NRA and write our letters to the NRA leadership, to the NRA dictatorship. We don't have time for their deal to get fixed. You know, if we had 20, 30, 40 years, yeah, well, maybe. But hey, friends, this is not an appliance association. This is about our freedom. Here in the United States, this is about our freedom to defend ourselves, to keep the police state at bay. That's what this is about. We don't have the time. Let me tell you what, if we don't make some headway, if we don't band together, if we don't start making more progress on television, I don't believe we'll have guns left in our society within 5 years. That's not long, friends. 5 years, those of you who are over 30 years of age, you know, 5 years is not a long time. And at the rate they're going, if they're not stopped, they can be stopped. Each one of us out there, you can represent 300 people by writing a letter to Congress. You've just become 300 people in the minds of that congressman. 100 letters from constituents are worth more than 100 phone calls from a professional lobbyist. Let me tell you what, 100 letters written to local newspapers that, that come out against guns is worth more than books written by professors somewhere. You know, friends, it has to be done. We've got to do it. We have to. I tell you what, it's seeing the effect of this Brady bill. In fact, last night, as we're taping this is on Thursday. Last night, a young man called me, and his home had been broken into. And they had someone down the block, a young man who apparently a drug addict and possibly a devil worshiper, who knows what, but a very disturbed and deranged young man, had broken the door down in their home and came in and made an overall mess, had made some, shall we say, some intimations, or had said some things, or had some desires apparently on this young man's wife. And he was arrested. He was caught and arrested. Well, a few months later, he's not only out of jail, but he's running loose again. And they're terrified. And they called me about what could they do, about how could they get a gun. I said, well, you can't buy a handgun because of the Brady bill. You can't get it it's going to take at least a week before you can pick up your handgun because of the Brady bill. And his wife doesn't have very much experience with guns, and he can't go buy that small revolver and instantly protect his home, so he's having to stay very close to home right now. And in fact, what I'm going to try and give them a little instruction over the next few days on how his wife can possibly protect herself against a break-in. But you see, friends, that's another example of how crazy these people are that promote things like the Brady bill. They're not living in the real world, or they don't care what our real world is. They don't care. All they want is their socialist, communist, New World Order, one world government paradise. Well, there are some of us out here, and I'm betting a good many of us, that are not going to go for it, that are absolutely not going to let them get away with it. Will you join us? Will you help the shooting show stay on the air? Will you please contribute to our efforts here, friends, if you can? You know, you can send whatever you can, a donation to the shooting show, 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Dubberly, Louisiana. That zip code is 71024. You can join our Gun Owner Rights Association. It's $50 annual membership, a $300 life membership. That's what it is right now. And you know, 6 times 5 is, or 50 will go into 300 6 times. That's 6 years. But let me tell you what, the life of us as gun owners is very limited at this time unless some things change. Will you please join us? Please, friends. I'm going to keep on saying it as long as we can remain on the air. As long as I have a voice left, we're going to be talking about this. Please, please join us if you will. If you join our Gun Owner Rights Association, you're going to get our newsletter monthly. Right now we're putting it out bi-monthly. We're going to go to monthly. And it will certainly give us money to help keep us on the air and help us reach more people. We've got to reach 13 million Americans. That's 5%. That is a doable figure, friends. That is a doable number. 13 million Americans who care about their gun rights, who care about the direction our country is going in, is a doable figure. We can do it, but you know what? We can't lay around. We can't depend on NRA-C, the compromisers. You know, you can't spell the word freedom from the letters that are in the word compromise. The two are at odds with each other, freedom and compromise. It's not the same thing. We can't afford to compromise any longer. Please join us if you will. If you can just contribute to the shooting show, do that please, because we have to stay on the air. I don't think there's an alternative. We have to stay on the air. We have a great show for you today. We have some exciting things to show. Let's start off today. You know, we're seeing a militarization of the police in our country, and I'm all for everybody on an AR-15. I think everybody ought to. But I'm not sure it's always the best choice in a police environment. And we'll start off today's program. Let's use a little burst fire out here. We have our pro timer here. And let's just start off with a little burst fire and make a little comparison here just for fun since we're here. Let's get another shooting show underway and see how it runs. Now then, on the timer. All right, we certainly burst our bottles there with spraying some bullets. 2.3 seconds. Let's try something else. Let's try the old reliable 30-30 lever action rifle. Punch our timer. Okay. 1.74 seconds. Boy, isn't that amazing? Old tech here. Let's try one more thing. So some folks think they need a machine gun. Okay, let's try a shotgun. How about 1 second?
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
Tell you what, friends, when you can take one of these great Kimber 45 semi-automatic pistols and you can make hits without too much difficulty on steel targets out at 100 yards, with one of these great Kimber, this is our shooting show model, full size, the Johnny Rowlands signature model. When you can make those hits out there with a mirror at 100 yards, and when you can make consistent hits on targets out at 200 yards, well, just imagine how easy it would be at 25 yards. Or at defense range. If you'd like to have one of our shooting show Kimbers, be it compact or the full-size model, or if you just want the best 1911 that money can buy at a very good price, the best factory production 1911 semi-automatic pistol ever built by any factory, give us a call here at the program. 318-377-5189, or you can write to us, send an FFL, we can wholesale these guns. Send an FFL to the Shooting Show, 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Doberly, Louisiana. The zip code is 71024. Now, friends, before we go on with the rest of the program, I want to make a point here. As you saw in our intro, when you're shooting and just spraying bullets, you may hit, you may not. And you saw where even the 30-30 with 2 aimed shots was dramatically faster than just spraying bullets with an AR-15. And you saw where the shotgun is absolutely, on making hits, is faster than anything else, certainly in the hands of the average person, or the average police officer for that matter. You know, right now we're seeing a militarization of the police. This bothers me. We've heard reports of the military training, even for house-to-house searches of firearms, and we're waiting on some more information on some of these things, but we've seen such as Operation Golden Nugget, where the military people were going and they were looking for firearms. Now, I don't understand this. You see, our military forces are not police officers. They're not, they should not be put in the role of so-called peacekeepers. That's the role for the police. But then why would they be training for house-to-house searches of firearms? We heard recently of a little town in Maryland that the police, the military went in and they apparently were training trainers. A lot of lieutenants went in as being trained. They were given, the residents were given plastic guns and told to hide them, and then the police went in and, or the military went in and retrieved those guns, went through these exercises, training exercises. And this bothers me a lot. What are they training for? You know, I can't think of any instance around the world where people need to be trained to go for house-to-house searches. That's not what our military does. That's not what they're supposed to do. And speaking of military, let's talk about what the police role is in society. A lot of police officers now, in fact, we did some recent training of a police officer out here on familiarizing that individual with the AR-15 type gun that they've just been issued. And for example, let's compare briefly the military role and the police role. The military is designed through their strategy to go into an area and take that entire area and take it and hold it. So if you're using a military type assault, you're going to shoot all the live targets and hold an area and establish complete control, complete rule over an area. You know, the military figures, that's one reason the AR-15 is a pretty good idea as a military gun. Did you realize that the military's own figures figure about 50,000 shots fired per casualty? They're going to shoot these guns 50,000 times before they hit anybody. That's what they figure. And the little 223, and certainly as an it's designed as a wounding, anti-personnel gun, especially for wounding. It's a pretty good rifle for that, actually, up close and personal. It's pretty good for that. And you can get, as we saw recently on a 3-gun match, you can get real fast with these things, of course, with aimed shots, not with burst fire, sprayed shots. You can't be nearly as fast. Okay, Now let's think about this. But the police role is not a military role. The police don't go into an area and kill everybody. That's not what they do. If there's a threat or a hostage taker, you're better off with a well-placed bullet. And certainly the 30-30 is way more bullet than the 223 Remington. Much more power, much more effective per shot. The lowly 30-30, which we've had as a deer rifle all these years. Jeff Cooper has said that a lever gun, lever action rifle, was probably a much better police gun simply because you can't spray an area. You've got to take aimed shots. And these guns are very rapid. They're rapid firing, they're rapid to shoot. They're easy to make aimed shots with. And plus you have a much more potent cartridge. In a police situation, you may have one or two hostile folks that need to be neutralized quickly. You don't need to spray a whole area because there are other people out there that you may hit. Now think about it. I know we have a lot of police officers watch our program, and you really need to think about this. If you are issued AR-15s, you need to think one semi-automatic on the selector, semi-automatic, one shot per one pull of the trigger, and you better think marksmanship, marksmanship, and marksmanship. You can't spray an area and think you're not going to kill a lot of innocent civilians. And police work does not kill innocent civilians, such as at Waco, Ruby Ridge. That's not what police work is. It's not how it's done. It's made for keeping the order and protecting the civilians if they're called into some sort of altercation. It's not to kill indiscriminately people. If you think you need full auto or a submachine gun, if you need the fantastic firing rates and very quick neutralization of a threatening target, the shotgun has so many advantages over a submachine gun, it's not even in the same race. The shotgun is so far beyond on what they will do and per application. So I tell you, I'm very concerned about seeing the militarization of the police forces, because that's not what they're supposed to do. The police are not supposed to be the military. They're not supposed to go in and destroy and kill a whole community. That's not what they're about. The police are part of us. The military is from some other government establishment. The police are us. They're members of our own community. So we really ought to reconsider that. And it's a point that I wanted to make on today's program. Friends, these Kimber 45s, and there are a lot of 1911 fans out there, and I will repeat my statement, there are some good automatic or semi-automatic pistols out there, but we have yet to better the 1911 design where semi-automatic pistol operation is involved. And certainly you can see that in all the speed matches, the most accurate guns, typically the easiest to shoot semi-automatics are the 1911 designs. And of course, these folks at Kimber build the finest production 45 that's ever been built in this country. They're a lot of fun, tremendous defensive tools, training tools. But the 45 ACP, while it's a great cartridge, easy to reload for, a lot of us out there wish that we could maybe have a 22 that would duplicate our 45 feel. And this is the Ruger 22/45, very fine gun, and has the same grip angle, somewhat different feel, but the same grip angle, and the controls are in similar locations to the 1911. And of course, it's inexpensive and fun to shoot, and these are very fine guns. But what if you could take your regular 1911 and somehow or another use the same gun that you train with, that you shoot, and maybe in competition that you carry as a defensive gun? What if you could had an inexpensive means, an easy means, simple means of converting the 45 to the 22? Wouldn't that be great? And years past, Colt had made the Ace unit available. There are some folks out there with conversion units. Well, let me tell you what, our good friends at Kimber have come with a fabulous conversion unit for their 1911. It makes it into a super accurate, super dependable 22 long rifle. And the advantage is you have the same bottom part of the gun. The gun even looks the same essentially. They have it in two finishes, one for the stainless guns, one for the blued guns, and has the same adjustable sights on it. So it's pretty amazing. We're going to show you just how easy it is to change them over. But wouldn't that be nice to have the same gun that you use all the time, that you could convert instantly to 22 long rifle, easy to shoot, very fine training apparatus, great to train someone who doesn't or is new to 45 or the semi-automatic pistols. Train them with the 22. Low recoil, low noise, and inexpensive to shoot. Wouldn't that be nice if we could do that and use the same trigger, the same safety, the same sighting radius, everything the same? Well, let's look at this great new conversion unit for Kimber. And friends, realize that you don't have to have an FFL unit if you've got a 1911. You don't have to have an FFL. You can order this direct. In fact, you can order it from us here at the program. So let's look at just how easy it is to convert the 1911 in 45 ACP to a 22 long rifle. Let's do that now. Friends, you can see, you open it right up here, and here is the slide and the whole mechanism there, and of course here is a magazine that fits in your 45. Let's take out this one and go ahead and unload it. And you know me, let's check them 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Look down that barrel to be sure that there's nothing that is left in that chamber. Very important. And friends, what we're going to do here, we're just going to take off the slide, have our bushing wrench here, and yes, again, we know this gun's unloaded. Simple thing to install. Get my takedown notch there. Watch this. Isn't this neat? Just pull it in place. Guess what? Now, put our magazine in place. Now it's a 22 long rifle. It looks just the same. Isn't that amazing?
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
Friends, here it is. This is the great Georgia Arms 45 DA Colt or double action Colt cartridge. This is the first major improvement on the Colt 45 since 1873. They have this in loaded cowboy ammunition. They're also selling brass, so you can load your own combinations. This cartridge case is absolutely a joy to work with. We're even seeing improved accuracy, we think due to the slightly larger rim on our 45 DA Colt case. You can get a free catalog, or you can order these from Georgia Arms, 1-800-624-6861 for their entire lineup, and please tell them you saw it here on our show. Now friends, of course, the cowboy load is mild but super accurate. And of course, you can take your hand loads up to the limit of what the loading manuals will allow. The great 45 double action Colt cartridge from Georgia Arms. Give them a call today, friends. A free phone call with a free catalog. Now friends, that's about as simple a deal as I ever saw. And I'll tell you, it's so nicely made. This is, of course, typical of Kimber, first quality all the way. Now, you can buy this kit for $299. That's what it retails for. You can buy it from us here on the show if you'd like. And yes, there will be some dealer allowances made there, and realize that every Kimber gun we sell, every dime that we make on our shooting show guns or on any of the Kimbers or any accessories goes to help keep us on the air. So anyway, it fits on the compact model. It'll fit on the other 1911s from other manufacturers, such as Colt or Springfield Armory or some of the others, that the Commanders or the compact models, or certainly the Kimber compact, or the full-size models. Of course, you load it, everything works the same. You just pull the slide back, let it go. Absolutely, friends. Just such the neatest concept you ever saw. Now friends, look at this great workmanship on this 22 caliber conversion, and what this does, it allows you to have two guns in one, and literally you can go out and practice with the 22 and put your 45 slide and magazine back in it, and see how the magazine is very thick, but a very nice design, goes in just like the regular 45 would. You know, so nicely machined. These excellent Kimber, same sights as on the full-size gun, excellent sight picture, so nicely made. I tell you, this is a real winner, only $299. Think about it, Christmas coming up. This would be a great gift to anyone. You don't have to have an FFL to order this kit. You can send this through the mail now, and it's perfectly legal. So if you have a 1911, you don't just have to have a Kimber, but a regular 1911, you can buy these kits, and certainly you can buy them from us here at the program. Let's see how it shoots. Go ahead and put our magazine in. We've got our gun cam going here, and pull the slide all the way back, and of course let it go. Apply our safety. Now let's get sighted in. Now then, friends, we've got our target out here at a few yards, and let's just see, we've got a little bitty black mark there. Let's see how close we can get there. Well, let's take a look. Put our safety on there. Tell you what, friends, that's 4 in one hole, one off to the left a little bit. Realize that the gun cam is not the easiest method of shooting, but let's take a look at, in fact, just how large that group is. Now, friends, I think you can see that the group is smaller than the first joint on my thumb. We've got 4 in one little hole there. Really just excellent performance. Now friends, I tell you what, the standard that I think most of us will judge any other 22 is by this Ruger. Certainly this is the heavy barrel Ruger, and this gun shoots pretty darn well. So let's compare out at 25 yards the Kimber with the 22 conversion unit on it to the Ruger 22/45. And let's just see, I mean, will a conversion unit on a 1911 frame, can it possibly shoot with a gun made from the ground up as a 22 long rifle? Well, heck, let's find out. have our target out here, go ahead and load our gun. Get my hearing protection in. Load it. Let's get started. Get our sure sight rest. This is a superior shooting device here. Let me say that about the folks from Sure Sight. Heck, let's see what it's going to do. Get braced. Get comfortable on the bench rest. Get braced and settle down. Look at the target. One thing that really makes the little Kimber conversion unit easy to shoot, these guns come with excellent triggers anyway. And certainly a good trigger is a huge help in accurate shooting. Readjust here. You know, these triggers, these Kimbers come with very good triggers anyway, and that's a huge help in accurate shooting. Okay, friends, we're going to go ahead and shoot some more. We're going to shoot several groups with both of these guns, and let's compare them. Now, friends, we have already come down and marked our targets. And let's start with what we shot with the little Ruger. And here it is. We got a 1.3-inch groups. We're using Remington hollow point 22 long rifle, which is recommended for the Kimber conversion. We've got another group here of 1.23 inches for the Ruger. Another one 1.44 and 1.03. This is the best one that the Ruger shot. Now then, let's see how the little Kimber did. Now this is the first group shot with the little Kimber, which is pretty good. This was my sighting group here. And then let's go over to the second group, which is 1.12 inches, which is, I think, really good. Certainly that really impressed me as far as a conversion unit. Had another one, I was trying to get the feel of the trigger, another sighting group, 1.6 inches. And let's look at the last group we shot with the Kimber. Yes, friends, here it is. 0.93 hundredths of an inch using the factory Remington hollow point ammunition, the high-speed hollow point. Now, wait a minute, friends. This is better than any of the groups we actually got with our little Ruger, and we know it's a good shooter. Certainly, I believe the group for the Ruger was, what, 1.12 inches for the, oh, sorry about that. How about 1.03 for the Ruger? Here it is. And now looking down at our best group for the Kimber, 93 hundredths of an inch, I think, is fantastic performance. Now then, friends, to convert it back to the 45 ACP, all you have to do, we know it's unloaded, we know it's empty. Let's go ahead and pull the slide. We took our magazine out first, pull our slide back to the takedown groove there. There it is. Put our 45 ACP slide back on our gun like so. Get it back in place. Put our slide stop. Here we go. Let's push it. There we go. These things are a little bit tight. That's why they come with a bushing wrench. Go ahead and get it in place here. Now we have our 45 ACP back in running order, easy, just like that. To show you how easy it is to put it on the compact model, let's see, we'll drop the magazine out, check to be sure it's unloaded, check it 3 times, same drill there. Okay, we know it's empty. Here we go. Bring our compact back to slide lock, put in the little wire piece there that is for the taking down of the compact model. It's a little different from the regular full-size model, but it's very simple. Take out the slide stop pin here. Just slide the top end off the gun. Now watch this. Take our conversion unit here. Just put it right on the slide. Put in the slide stop pin. Pull it to the rear and There it is. Okay, friends, put our magazine in it right here. Pull the slide back, let it go, and hey, the compact 45 is now a 22. Plier safety. Isn't that neat? Tell you what, friends, think of Christmas coming up. Whether you have a full-size 1911 or a compact model or a Commander from some other manufacturer or a full-size 1911 from some other manufacturer, you can write to us here at the Shooting Show. It's $2.99 retail for the 22 caliber conversion unit. And yes, you can get extra magazines, but you can have a lot of fun with one. The magazine holds up to 10 rounds. So I tell you, it's a great idea from the good folks at Kimber, and we really do appreciate them supporting us here on the Shooting Show. It is worth an awful lot to us and helping us to stay on the air. So if you'd like one of these great 22 conversion units, just give us a call. I'll tell you what, you'll have to measure them in pounds of fun, believe me, because they really are.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shooting Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station. Now friends, here it is. This is the great 1919 Browning converted to semi-automatic from the good people at NWI. This is your chance to own a real piece of history. They're very collectible. They're also a lot of fun to own and shoot, and very reasonably priced, certainly for what you get. The 1919 Browning is from NWI. That phone number, area 503-429-5001. They also have the ammunition special still going on. 30-06 ammunition, only 18 cents a round, surplus in the belt. So give them a call today, NWI, for the great 1919 Browning conversion. Also remember, they have the A6 conversion with the shoulder stock and the bipod. But these are tremendous pieces of history, also great shooters. So give them a call today, the 1919 Browning from NWI, area 503-429-5001. And friends, you know, we're always saying we don't know how long these guns are going to be available, and especially in today's political climate, who the heck knows? Tim has a few of the 50 Browning conversions, the machine gun conversion to semi-automatic out there at NWI. So please give them a call if you'd like either the 1919 Browning or even the Big 50. Give them a call, area 503-429-5001, and please tell them you saw it on our show.
It's Coney Robertson at the 1998 NRA Pistol Championships at Los Angeles, California. They run from July the 4th to July the 11th, 98. We're at this Los Angeles Shooting Club. I'll show you some of the targets. This is the half-size targets. The chickens are at 50 meters, pigs at 100 meters, turkeys at 150 meters, rams at 200 meters. Each competitor shoots 20 shots at each distance. Then on the right of that we have the full-size targets. Rams are 200 meters, turkey 150, pigs are 150. Pigs are 100, turkeys are 50, the chickens are 50 meters. And this is a beautiful facility here. You can see how many banks of targets they have here. That's big bore. And then over on the right of the range is the 22 targets. These are 3/8 size of the big bore targets. The Rams are at 100 meters, that's about 109 yards. Turkeys, 75 meters. Pigs are at 50 meters. Then you have half-size chickens at 40 meters in the NRA competition. And each competitor is required to shoot 20 shots at each distance.
Out to the back. You got 30.
Alright, get a good sight picture on the 7th bank of turtle. You got lots of crack. Yeah.
Center shot.
This is Marvin Tannehill. He just set a new NRA national record here at the Los Angeles Silhouette Club that was held on July the 4th through the 10th. He shot a 80 out of 80 in unlimited standing. Marvin, could you tell us a little about the gun you was using?
Well, the gun I was using was a Remington XP100 with a muzzle brake on the end of the barrel. It was in a rear grip McMillan stock, and it has a Rifle Basics trigger that a low-profile Rifle Basics trigger that has to fit in that particular stock. It has a high-rise mount on it, and I'm not exactly sure how high that mount is. I think it's about 5.5 inches. And then the scope on the gun is a Leopold. It was a 12 power. It's now 16. It was bumped by Dick Thomas.
Okay. Well, tomorrow, do you know if you're in any shoot-offs or anything?
I don't have any idea at this point.
Okay. If he's in a shoot-off tomorrow, I'll try to get a picture of him shooting the scope gun, and I'll try to get him to maybe shoot some of the half-size Rams at 200 meters. I understand he hits them quite regularly. But in any event, he's the first guy to ever shoot a 80 out of 80 unlimited standing, and rifle shooters should understand that in rifle silhouette shooting, they let you rest your elbows against your body and so forth. In pistol shooting, your hands are on the pistol, and your arms or anything cannot touch any part of your body. Isn't that correct, Marvin?
That's correct.
So you're really holding it away from your body, and if a guy ever seen this guy shoot, you'd see, I don't know what he had, ice water in his veins or something. But I was down here a few years back, and he hit a 79 out of 80 with a Thompson Contender with a high-rise scope, and he actually nicked a turkey, but it didn't fall over. But he hit 79 out of 80 that year, and this year he finally done, I think, probably what his ambition's been, to get an 80 out of 80. Is that right, Marvin?
Yeah, I was very pleased with that. It's taken quite a
Friends, we hope you're enjoying our program. We appreciate Coney Robertson sending us that video he took at the Los Angeles Silhouette match. Also want to mention his wife, Joyce Robertson, shot an 80 out of 80 in one of the classifications there, which is very hard to do. In fact, I would like to cover some more silhouette shooting. We're going to try and include that on some future programs. Hopefully next week we'll have some footage from a hunt on the YO Ranch. We're looking very forward to that, and in a couple of weeks we anticipate having Senator Bob Smith on our show here. See, friends, we can do stuff. We can make a difference. We are making a difference, and if you can help us stay on the air, or if you can join our new Gun Owner Rights Association, please, friends, it's only $50 a year, which is a lot of money to me, but about $15 to $20 of that's going toward buying the newsletter subscription, because that's our real costs on it. And friends, we can do it. If we leave it up to the other organizations, if we leave it up to the other programs out there, it's not going to happen. We're going to lose everything that goes bang. So let me recognize our support group, our good friend Bill Lewis with Vinyl Tech. If you live within 100 miles of Atlanta, Georgia, Bill can put vinyl siding on your home or vinyl windows for literally thousands of dollars less than you would expect to pay. And his phone number is area 770-529-2829. Again, area 770-529-2829. We also have a new company in our support group.
Steadcraft Incorporated. They are a custom machine shop there in Torrington, Connecticut. If you need any custom metal work or custom machine work done, they also have CNC equipment. You can give them a call at area 860-496-7001. Again, 860-496-7001. We have our good friend Dennis Crocker, who is a firearms trainer in South Carolina. Dennis can go throughout the state. His number is area 864-587-8722. Again, 864-587-8722. Custom leatherwork and saddlery. They're in Denham Springs, Louisiana. Dennis and Jenny Ritchie do all kinds of leather work there. You can call them, area 504-667-9225. Again, 504-667-9225. Camouflage Technologies. They paint gun stocks in a very spectacular manner there. You can call them at area 909-674-6488. Again, area 909-674-6488. Of course, Clark Custom Guns here in Louisiana doing all kinds of custom work on semi-automatic pistols and revolvers and Ruger 22 rifles. Their number is 318-949-9884. Again, 318-949-9884. Flying Horse Gallery is the folks that have the artwork there on the internet. You can find them at www.flyinghorse.net. Again, www.flyinghorse.net. And our friend Bruce Warren with BC Armory there in East Leroy, Michigan. He works on semi-automatic pistols and revolvers. His number is area 616-729-5508. Again, area 616-729-5508. Friends, remember our radio show on the American Freedom Network on SpaceNet 4, Channel 19, 5.82 audio from noon until 2 o'clock on Sundays. Please remember our gospel show on Sunday morning from 10 to 10:30 Eastern Time on Telstar 4, Channel 20, like we are here this evening on the program. Friends, whatever you can do to help us, please join our association or please send donations to The Shooting Show, 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Dubberly, Louisiana. That zip code is 71024. Our phone number, 318-377-5189. Please, friends, this has to go on. Help us if you can. If we don't do it, no one else is. We won't have any guns left in 5 years. Let's fix it. Let's change it. We'll see you on the next program.